Hello, hello, hello. How are you all doing? Welcome to our Montessori Mondays with me, Holly. Today we are going to be talking about three of the big mistakes that you can make with Montessori. So stay tuned to be sure you're not doing any of these big mistakes that I'm going to be talking about. And if you're here joining live, make sure to say hi in the comments. Let me know you're here. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this video is playing in the Facebook group. So let me know if you're here. Say hi in the comments. And also give me that hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay, because I know a lot of people are going to be watching on the replay. Let's see. I'm just going to refresh my page really quick because I'm not seeing the video, but I can see a few of you are on here watching already, so I know it's there. There it is. Okay, I'm going to pop it in the announcements, and then we'll be good to go. Hello, hello. Thank you guys for joining and saying hi. If you guys didn't know, I want to tell you about these giveaways that I've got going on this week. So I'm going to be talking about how you can win a full scholarship to the Montessori Learning Center and some other amazing prizes, like one of our monthly themed Montessori curriculums, which include like 50 plus printables, printable pages, and a few other giveaways we have going on over in the pop-up group for the 4 days to a Montessori home challenge. I'm going to talk about that at the end of this live, so be sure to stick around if you want to get in on that. I'm also so energized to be talking about our topic today because it's one that almost all of us go through, right? As we get started on our Montessori journey, or even if we've been practicing for a while, you might notice that you are doing, one of these three big things that a lot of us do. So first, I want to ask you guys a question. Have you ever thought to yourself, I can't do Montessori, it's too expensive? Or have you ever thought, my home isn't Insta-fabulous, so there's no way that I can have a Montessori home? Or maybe you thought, whoa, there's way too much to learn. I'm just going to back up and not do anything, right? I'm sure that at least once or twice you have thought maybe one or a couple of these in your Montessori journey, right? Let me know in the comments, do any of those sound familiar to you? Today, we're going to help you kind of myth bust each of those big mistakes, those big mindsets that you can have that get you stuck and, feeling paralyzed. So let's start with the first one that I mentioned, right? Thinking that you need all the things to practice Montessori at home. Who has, when you started your Montessori journey, or even like as you continue going, do you feel the need to buy more and more and more, get more materials, whatever it might be? There are some beautiful Montessori materials out there. I'm not going to lie. There's so many beautiful materials, but none of them are actually required to practice Montessori at home with your 0 to 3-year-olds. Firstly, this is because you can practice the Montessori principles and the mindsets without actually purchasing any new materials. If you simply get rid of contradicting toys at home, those loud, flashy toys, and focus on things such as freedom of choice, respect for the child, or following your child's lead, you'll be on the right track, right? If you just go down that path rather than buying everything left and right. Mind over matter, they say. And you might not think that these small mindset changes will be that effective, but you couldn't be more wrong. Last week, I talked about how our children are in their absorbent mind from the ages of 0 to 6. And everything we do with our children now is going to have this long-lasting impression on them. And if you haven't watched last week's live, go back and check it out. But yeah, as we go forward, I want you to really 100% be clear that Montessori is not just about the materials. It's more largely about the mindsets and the relationships that we have with our children, how we treat them at this young age, and how that forms who they become as adults, right? So now that you know this, say it with me. I can do Montessori. I can do Montessori. Don't let wanting or needing to have all the things stop you from moving forward with your Montessori journey. And in the 4 days to a Montessori home challenge that I talked about earlier, this is exactly what our aim is. We want to help as many parents as possible and carers to really get started, and there's really no requirements to join at all. You don't have to be a stay-at-home mom. You don't have to be, financially set. You don't have to even be sending your child to a Montessori program. All you have to do is make these few small changes that we're going to suggest to your mindset and your home, and voila, you're going to be giving your child the gift of a Montessori home. Now, does that sound like something you can manage, right? To me, that sounds really simple, and that's exactly what our goal is with the 4-day challenge. Keep it simple and keep you moving forward, right? So I can see a few more of you joining here. Hello, good evening. Thanks, you guys, for showing up live. If you have any questions about what we're talking about, go ahead and pop them in the comments there. I'll talk a little bit more about the challenge in a bit, but for now, I want to know if you've ever had trouble with our next big mistake to avoid with Montessori. Have you ever felt like Montessori wasn't for you because you aren't doing things perfectly? Let's just get something out in the open now. You don't need a Pinterest perfect setup to make Montessori a reality in your home, right? Please, by all means, go all out if you'd like. I love looking at all sorts of different inspiration on Insta. But real life Montessori doesn't always happen like it does in the pictures. Excuse me. There is a difference between real life Montessori and these Pinterest perfect setups, right? There's a difference between Montessori at home, and there's a difference between Montessori in the classroom as well. So just remember, when you are looking for that inspiration, don't let yourself get caught up on aesthetics, right? Or decor, because while Maria Montessori was an advocate for beautiful spaces for our children, she didn't mean we needed to set up, this fake house that nobody really even lives in. It's just more about including them in, artwork at their eye level and things such as that nature, rather than having this Pinterest perfect setup. Now, if you're still struggling on your Montessori home setup, I highly encourage you to join us for that Montessori challenge that I'm talking about, because this is exactly what we focus on, making those small changes to your main living space to set your home up for a Montessori living. So let me know in the comments, could you use some home setup inspiration? I know over in the pop-up group, we've got everyone introducing themselves and posting pictures of their main living spaces. And these are just real life Montessori homes, right? And some people don't even have any Montessori going on in their home at all, but they're sharing this space. And it's really, really great to see all the different homes, all the different, cultures that we come from, and how we're all kind of incorporating Montessori for our children in our home. So if you need some inspiration, definitely head over to the pop-up group. And if there's one thing that you'll gain from this challenge, it's tons of inspiration from these thousands of other parents and carers who are already joined us. And I'm going to talk about the last big mistake that you can make with Montessori before I go into all the details about the challenge. This last mistake is the most common mistake. It's that feeling of being paralyzed by overwhelm, right? That Montessori overwhelm. I'm sure you've heard people talk about it before. Many of us, myself included, end up getting too far ahead of ourselves and end up getting overwhelmed. Yes, a big, beautiful living room for our whole family to share is amazing, but as the saying goes, they didn't build Rome in a day, right? Take it one step at a time. And what's that one step, right? And you're wondering, okay, Holly, what's the one step that I can take today? Declutter. This is my one step for you, my one-step action step. I'm highly encourage you to get started with. And one of the best ways to bring some new things into your home, like Montessori, is to really get rid of the old. Clear out space to make room for this new idea, this new, space in your home. And this includes clearing space for new mindsets like the ones I mentioned earlier, right? Get rid of the old mindsets like baby talk and replace it with Montessori mindsets like respect for the child. I know it's easy for me to say, oh, just go declutter your home. But I know in reality it takes, a little bit of time, and it's a bit trickier than just go over and declutter your home. But that's why I created that 4-day challenge with the 4 simple action steps that I give you each day. And during the 4-day challenge, we work on both the physical decluttering of your main space and the mental decluttering of your space. So be honest with me, how long has declutter been on your to-do list? Let's do this together with thousands of other parents and carers who are doing the exact same thing. If you are ready to learn more about Montessori, provide your child with this, beautiful Montessori prepared environment at home, I would love for you to join us in the 4 days to a Montessori home challenge. This challenge is specifically designed to transform your main living space into that beautiful prepared environment. It's not meant to be complicated or make things difficult. You don't need all the expensive things to make this happen. And our free pop-up Facebook group is all about supporting one another. No mom shaming here. So the challenge starts on March 8th, which is next week. So if you're joining us, be sure to get in there because it's absolutely free to join. And one lucky winner who participates in all 4 days of the challenge will win a scholarship to the Montessori Learning Center. As well as if you sign up now, you'll be joining us for our pre-challenge party where we'll be giving other awesome giveaways away until we get started on March 8th. So what do you think? Would you like to join the fun? Let me know in the comments. I see, happy to be there. How do I sign up for the challenge? I'm going to go ahead and put the link into the chat for you guys now. Let me know what questions you guys have for me today, and I'll answer them while I'm here live. And if you are on the replay, I'm going to come back throughout this week to answer any questions that you might have while you're watching. And one more thing that I wanted to mention is that when you join the pop-up Facebook group and introduce yourself by Wednesday night, you're automatically entered to win our free, win a free themed Montessori inspired curriculum that's normally only available to paid members of the Montessori Learning Center, not to mention some other surprise giveaways later this week. So I'm going to go ahead and put that link in there now, answer you guys' questions, and then I'll be signing off. So let's see if I can get the link here. Hello, happy to be here. Gisela, glad to see you here. I can see you guys' names now. I couldn't see them earlier. I think that you've joined us for the challenge before, if I remember correctly. Okay, there's the link. And yes, Michelle's saying she needs some inspiration. Yes, it's so good to have inspiration, isn't it? Just being able to really see what everybody else is doing, right? What's working for families that are doing the same thing, right? We all have, 0 to 3-year-olds, and we're all just trying to really set our home up the best way that we know how, right? So there's no better way to do that than looking at other people who are also doing the same thing, right? And taking inspiration from them. All right, guys, if you have any questions for me, I am more than happy to answer them. Just pop them in the chat, and yeah, I'll come back and answer them if I don't have any more questions while I'm live. Again, the 4 days to a Montessori Home Challenge starts on March 8th, which is exactly a week away. So I'm so glad that so many of you have already joined us. We have thousands of people joining us this time. Let's see. Somebody is saying, Maria, I think I enrolled with an incorrect email. I'm not receiving anything about the challenge, only messenger messages. Yes, cool. So you can maybe you can either message the chat bot, I'm assuming that's what you're getting, and ask to check your email, or you can PM me if you would like, and I will check your email for you just to be sure that you are on the list and you're receiving messages. Also, the number one thing to do is to just check your spam folders and make sure it hasn't gone to the wrong folder. All right, let's see. And I think that's it, guys. Do you have any more questions for me? Oh, I don't want to leave too soon, but I'm not seeing any other questions. Let's see. I'm going to head over here. Okay, I think you're welcome. I think I'll head off now. But again, if you do have questions, I will come back and answer them. I'll reply, I'll comment to your questions for those of you on the replay and anyone watching live. So thanks for joining, and I hope to see you guys all in the 4-day challenge. Bye-bye.